So, this is the Oculus Quest 2. Oculus sent us this headset early so that we could test it and share our thoughts on it on this channel. I've been testing it for about 2 weeks and today we can finally share what it is like. But first, I wanted to kickstart this video by telling you the price of this new headset as it changes things. So the rumored prices of $299 for the 64GB version and $399 for the 256GB version is true. Yes, this means that the Quest 2 is cheaper than its predecessor, and that brings a couple of questions. Where did Oculus compromise to make this hardware more affordable? What has improved, and what does that mean if you already have an Oculus Quest? Because this one is going to replace the first one. We'll answer all these questions in this video, plus more. I'm going to show you what's in the box, then talk about all the specs that were revealed while sharing our hands-on first impressions. I also have a lot of important info that you should not miss if you are interested in this headset. And in the upcoming days, I'll share more in-depth videos on the Quest 2. So if you'd like to know more, then consider subscribing. And good day everyone, I am Cass and this is your channel for VR tips. Now let's talk about this headset, so join me beyond reality. The Oculus Quest 2. This is the newest headset by Oculus and it has been rumored for a while now, for over a month, and interestingly enough, lots of rumors are right, but there are also things that you may not have expected. It is still a standalone VR headset. This means it's wireless and you don't need a PC to use it. And it still has inside-out tracking and 6 degrees of freedom. That means it has sensors integrated into the headset that tracks your head movement and also your controllers so that you can move naturally in the virtual environment like you would do in real life, like right now. The Quest 2, as the name suggests, is the successor of Quest 1. So the sad news is that this new headset will replace the Quest 1, so that means that the first Quest will not be sold anymore. Software support for Quest 1 will stay. This means you can still play games on Quest 1 for quite a while, even the upcoming new games. So that's good news, but how long this will be is not clear yet. Nonetheless, when we get more info on this, I will let you know on this channel. So back to Quest 2. There will be 2 versions you can buy. I've mentioned them already. 64GB for $299 and 256GB for $399. Lower price, but there is a catch. When this headset releases, Oculus will also be offering official comfort mods that allows you to customize your headset to your liking. And you're probably going to need it, so that will add to the total price. But we will talk about accessories in the comfort section of this video. Pre-orders are available from September 16, which is now, and the headset will be available for purchase from October 13 this year. So yes, that is sooner than most of us expected. By the way, the only difference between the 2 versions is the storage space. Everything else hardware-wise is the same. So that brings us to the specs, which I'm really excited to talk about. But before we dive into that, let's rewind a little and do a quick unboxing. It's a simpler box this time. It's white and it suits the headset's color. In the tiny box inside the box is a power adapter with a USB-C to USB-C cable. This time much shorter than the Quest 1 charging cable. The touch controllers, which are new and redesigned by the way, but more about this later. There are 2 AA batteries included in the controllers already, one for each controller. And this is a glasses spacer. You use it to make room inside the headset for those who wear glasses in VR. There is still some protective plastic on the lenses, so let's remove them together. And here it is in full. So some of the specs are pretty exciting, some are even better than expected. However, it isn't all perfect. Compromises have been made to make it more affordable. But first, I am happy to say that what is powering this thing is for sure better. The RAM has improved from 4GB to 6GB. The Quest 2 runs on a Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 chip. This is a system on a chip that can handle higher resolutions, higher refresh rates, and it has like twice the performance over the Quest 1. But more about that later. I was optimistic in my prediction video when I thought it would include the 855 processor, which is one generation lower than the XR2, so this is really cool. And yes, the performance is noticeably faster. For example, the startup time is already much faster. But let's take a look at its design and comfort now. There is some good news and bad news here. The exterior looks the same, but you can see that the Quest 2 is smaller in size, which makes it 10% lighter, weighing about 503 grams now instead of 580 grams, and it's white instead of gray. Some fabric has been removed at the sides and also inside the headset. I personally enjoy this new color, although I am scared it might get dirty fast. The strap is not rigid anymore, instead you get this flexible strap. The top still has a Velcro strap though. To tighten the back, you pull and stretch these strap holders, which is easy to do. The face foam is different, seems a little lower quality than the Quest 1, but still very soft, and there's enough thickness to allow you to put the headset just that tight enough without putting too much strain on your face. But there is still light bleed from the nose gap. However, there will be accessories coming that will help in this department, but I will talk more about those accessories very soon. So I think the strap is the first thing I feel Oculus compromised in, as this strap does not make the headset less front heavy, which was one of the biggest complaints of Quest 1. However, because the headset is a bit lighter and the face foam is sufficient, I can make the strap just tight enough to play with this headset for about 45 minutes before I start feeling the strain on my face. This is longer than I could do with an unmodded Quest 1. So out of the box, it is a tad more comfortable. Okay, I can understand by hearing this, you may feel like Oculus hasn't listened at all to the community in regards to comfort, but don't get mad yet, because there is some good news here. As I mentioned before, Oculus will be selling official comfort accessories with the Quest 2. For an additional $50 you can get the Elite strap, which is this one. And this one is a more rigid strap with the familiar knob at the back to tighten the headset, and this offers more balance and improved ergonomics. And yes, this one is more comfortable than the straps out of the box, at least to me. Comfort is personal, so I do recommend trying out this one first. For those in need of more battery life, you can also get the Elite strap that includes an external battery inside for $129, which will give you double the battery life. There will be more accessories. There will be a new carrying case for $49, a fit pack, which is a pack that will include a pair of light blockers. Light blockers are extra inserts that will help with the light bleed. And this pack will also include 2 additional facial interfaces, which is this part. Oculus will also be working with third-party accessory companies like VR Cover, which you may know already from their foam replacements. I like that Oculus has decided to not only sell their own stuff and has decided to work with a company within the VR community. I haven't had the chance to try out all these accessories that I just named yet, except for the Elite strap that I have right here, but I will review all of them on this channel once they are out, and the full review of this one, the Elite strap, is coming very soon. And I think it's a good idea that Oculus is bringing out official comfort mods, as the whole community, us included, has been doing it already. But seeing how comfort isn't a lot improved out of the box, I think a lot of people will need to take the extra costs into account. Okay, I've already talked so much, but there's still one part that I find exciting. Let's talk about the display. and lenses. First things first, it's a single fast switch LCD. The same technology as the Rift S, except Oculus has said it is improved. The resolution is now 1832 x 1920 per eye. Very nice, and I think it's beautiful so far. It has noticeable grayer blacks than Quest 1, so the environments have different color contrasts. On Quest 1, however, the color contrast seems a bit too high in comparison, so actually the Quest 2 colors look more realistic to me. As for the screen door effect, which is the empty space between pixels that look like fine lines on the display if you really look closely, that is not visible to me anymore. At least it's really tough to find it. On Quest 1, it is more noticeable. However, a single display usually means no IPD adjustment. Correct IPD configuration is important for screen clarity. Your IPD is the distance between the centers of your eyes. There is good news here though. Oculus has thought of something new. There is a manual IPD adjustment, thank goodness. However, this time it's fixed in 3 settings. To set it, you move the lenses to one of the 3 settings. Setting 1 is 58mm, setting 2 is 63mm, and setting 3 is 68mm. Oculus believes that this will work for the majority of people. Whether that's true, we'll need to hear that from more people than just us. But for us, yes, it does work. My IPD is around 59 and setting number 1 is sharp to me and relaxing to my eyes. Cherry has an IPD of 66.5, so she's between setting 2 and 3, and she says that setting 3 works best for her sometimes, but sometimes she needs to switch to setting 2 and that seems better. I think I need to put her in there a little bit more to give a final say. So yes, this IPD system is not the same as being able to set your IPD entirely correct to match your eyes. If your IPD is somewhere in between, like Cherry's, then your eyes might need a little bit more time getting used to it. And the sweet spot might be smaller for you too. The sweet spot is the position of the headset on your face that looks the clearest to you. But Cherry does say that it's okay for her, it's not distracting while playing games. The field of view, and this is a short section because it hasn't changed much, it's more of like the same. So now let's talk about the refresh rate. The Quest 2 can handle a 90 Hz refresh rate. However, at the time of making this video, this mode is not activated yet. This means that if you get the Quest 2 right now, everything still runs on 72 Hz. As soon as Quest 2 launches in October, you can use the system software such as Oculus Home and Browser at 90 Hz by turning this on in experimental features in the settings. It will be turned on by default later this year, and also at launch date, developers will get the ability to ship apps running at 90 Hz. So currently I haven't been able to test 90 Hz out, but it's good that this is coming and that it's possible, because the higher the refresh rate, the smoother the experience will be, and it may help some with motion sickness too. Here's some important info if you are a Quest 1 owner. Oculus also said that they will require developers to support Quest 1 for a while. This means that upcoming games will still work on Quest 1. The upside here is that if you have Quest 1, you still have games to play even in the future, and people who are getting the Quest 2 can play all existing games from the Quest 1 library as well. But I guess if you get Quest 1, we have to wait a little while before we can make fully use of the power of that thing. As for tracking, that seems improved as well, but an extensive video about this will come later when I also show more gameplay too. As for battery life, it's a little bit better. On a full charge, I was getting approximately 2.5 hours playtime, playing several random games like Beat Saber, Pistol Whip, and a new game called Falcon Age. And this can be less though if you're playing a different game or when 90 Hz mode is activated. Getting the headset to a full charge also takes around 2.5 hours. The controllers have a much longer battery life. I actually haven't emptied them yet. So battery life hasn't changed much when compared with the Quest 1, except maybe for the controllers, but all does seem to be improved. The controllers are redesigned. It has the same button layout as the first touch controllers, a bigger resting area for your thumbs. They are a little heavier, but feel more economic. Seems better for bigger hands now. The battery cover position is also more like the first touch controllers now, much tighter too, so the problem with the covers sliding off isn't a problem anymore. As for those who wear glasses, medium-sized glasses like the one I have here still fit in the headset, even with the smaller form factor. It is recommended to use the provided glasses spacer though, to make sure there is enough space so that you don't damage the lenses. So yes, while I couldn't test the headset's full potential like 90Hz mode, there is a lot that I could try already, and I think the specs are great as well as the headset's performance so far. The specs are better than I expected, and I think the compromises Oculus did make are in the areas that matter less. Plus, the price is just hard to beat right now, so it's for sure a recommendation over the Quest 1. In case you were wondering that, I advise not to buy the first Quest anymore. Of course, I have to mention this now too. With this headset, it also comes with a requirement to log in with Facebook. Not a big issue to me, as I think we can find ways to protect ourselves, to protect our data, but more on this later on this channel. So I had a lot to say in this video, but I hope it answered some of your questions. Keep in mind that this isn't a review, as I need to spend more time with the headset for that. So in the next couple of days I will go more in depth about all kinds of aspects of this headset. I'll show more gameplay and just do more tests. After some time I'll post a final review just like we did with the Quest 1. Let us know your thoughts about the Quest 2, and if you have more questions about the headset or would like us to test something out specifically, put that below too, and I'll definitely take that into account. We actually have plans to give away a Quest 2 if we are able to reach 50,000 subscribers before the headset releases in October, so I'm kinda needing your help to spread the word and get people to subscribe. We're not sure if we are going to make it, but it will be amazing. Lastly, in my prediction video, I said that the person who gets the most predictions right, I would give them a gift. And I got a winner right here. ZK Nightlight had these specs in his prediction and he got most of it right. So I'm going to reach out to you, Zed, and I'll get you a package of Oculus Quest game keys that you can also play with this headset too if you are getting it. Congrats to Zed. Anyway, a special thanks to our champions, especially those down below right now. If you want to support the channel extra too, you can also become a champion. See the links below, and as one, you can ask your questions more directly because I always give our champions priority. And as always, VR on.